Hello, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's rant is going to be titled I Was Busy Part 2. And I'm going to be talking about something that I already made a video on. This is going to be a part 2. I was talking about how people will proclaim that they were busy and, they leave you on red. And then they say that they were busy and that's why they didn't respond. And in the initial video, I was talking about why it doesn't make sense and how I pretty much was saying that if they were busy, then they wouldn't have time to look at the messages that you sent and leave them on red. If they were actually busy, they wouldn't even be on their phone. And I made that rant about a year ago, and I actually have, a little bit of an update that I want to make about that video because what I said was true and, I still believe that. But one thing that I was watching a YouTube video, and this guy, he had like a bunch of likes on this video. So I know a lot of people were agreeing with him. And, but at this point, it doesn't really matter if they were agreeing with him or not. I know what he was saying was true. And he was saying that when someone sees your message and it's left undelivered and, they don't respond, it's for a reason. They saw the message. He said, whether it's a female or your homie, bruh, they've seen the message. They're not that busy that they don't have time to respond, And then he was saying that no one that is interested in you is going to make you wait 10 plus hours to like 2 days to respond to one message. And he's absolutely right. That's true. No one that actually cares about you, they could not go a day without talking to you, And everyone has free time, and that's true. Everyone does have their own free time, and they can choose how to spend that free time. So I don't understand why people will take sometimes up to like 2 or 3 days to respond to you. And at that point, it really does start to push me away because he's absolutely right. When you really are interested in somebody, when you really like somebody and like you can't get enough of them, you want to talk to them when you're in that phase, it's not going to take you a day to respond to them. And people are always on, like he was saying that women are always on their social media. They're always updating their Snapchat stories, always on their Instagram, always on their Facebook, or like whatever it is. People literally have a phone in their pocket and they can literally access the internet at any time they want. And information and websites and apps are so accessible with high-speed internet, 5G internet. So it's come to the point where it's really easy for me to tell if someone's interested or not. And, at that point, if they're not and they're making me wait a day or two, I can just stop the conversation and move on because I'm not going to sit there and like ask them like, oh, are you still interested in talking to me? Like, do you care? Like, obviously they don't care if they're not talking to me, I've been trying to think and I have been thinking and I've been trying to decide whether or not if I want to call them out about it. And I decided that I'm going to just say, look, I know you're not interested. I don't want to have an argument about this. You clearly aren't responding to the messages that I'm sending. And I don't feel like this is going to be a healthy connection for me because your lack of interest is making this unhealthy and making me upset. So for my own self-respect and my own sanity, I'm going to distance myself from this conversation, and I hope you have a great one. Goodbye. Something like that, like explaining them that it's not healthy for me or whatever, because it's not healthy to be talking to people who don't care about you. And I'm not going to sit here and waste my time and ask someone if they're interested, Like that's one of the things that I've realized is that if someone's interested in talking to you, you're not going to have to ask them. You're not going to have to keep asking them if they're interested or not. They're going to let you know they're interested by their actions, by what they do, how they behave, what they talk about. You'll know if someone is interested or not, because I've talked to people who actually were busy, and they made time for me, I used to talk to a housewife who had I think 2 or 3 kids, and she was busy with housework all day long, and she would always have time to respond to me. So when it really comes down to it, you have to look at something that's called priorities, and everyone has their list of priorities that they care about. And sometimes you are gonna find out that you're not always in the list of someone's priorities, and that's fine. But I just don't want to be strung along. And one of the things that really annoys me about this is that I'll call them out for their behavior, and I'll tell them what they're doing and let them know that I know they're not interested, or I used to do this. And they would tell me I'm lying. They would tell me that they are interested, they do care, they just don't have time. They're so busy. And at that point, I already know the truth. Like that guy said, they're not that busy. They're not going to make you wait that long and stuff. And he's right. And, at that point, again, I'm not going to argue with them. I'm an adult. I have things to do. I have other people to talk to. And, I'm not going to have a forced conversation with somebody like that. If they're not interested in talking, I'm just going to just say, whatever, dude, bye-bye, But anyways, this was just me ranting again. This is an update and a part 2 on the I was busy rant. Thank you guys for listening. This has been the Moore's October Rant signing out. Have a good one, guys. I had to make this. It was really important, and I'm glad I did. Again, have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.